Hi, I'm Laura, and welcome back to the Tarot Genie, where you receive intuitive, insightful answers from the tarot to your burning questions about business, career, entrepreneurship, spirituality, personal development, and more. This week, we're going to ask the tarot, how do you move from concern to confidence in handling a particular challenge? We face challenges in all facets of our lives. And when you're in a situation in which you feel a lot of concern and agitation and anxiety, it can be extremely difficult to move forward and tackle the particular challenge and take action in a way that's most productive. It's much better and easier to handle the challenge, no matter how difficult and frightening it may be, if we feel confident, if we feel that we are using all our resources and all our skills to be able to tackle it. So that's the question of the day that we're going to ask the tarot as I shuffle here. And as always, I'd like to share with you a book of the week from my library. And this book is called Creativity in Business by Michael Ray and Rochelle Myers. And this book was the product of a class, and I think the last time I checked, which was a few years ago, there was a class called Creativity in Business taught at Stanford University. And this book was the product of that class by these particular professors who taught there. And it's been around, well, this book dates back, I first owned it I bought it in April 1987. And the pages, as you may or may not be able to see, are rather yellowed, but it's really chock full of tips and techniques to allow your creativity to flow more easily, more fluidly, so that you can brainstorm more effectively and tackle projects and problems and challenges with greater aplomb. And since that's the focus of our question today and this week, I thought that I'd recommend that book. And I've had it, and I've had it so long, but what really inspired me about this particular book was struck as it came out just around the same time that I was introduced to the tarot. And in this book, there is a tarot exercise. So you can see even Stanford University has incorporated the tarot into their curriculum. So let's jump right in with our reading of today. And I'm going to address the question of how to move from concern to confidence about a challenge with a 3-card reading. The first card will be the situation. What insights do we need to know about this particular challenge? Now, think about a challenge in your life right now that you may be wrestling with. So we're going to ask or choose a card based on providing some insights related to that challenge, what you need to know about the situation. Then the middle card will be the suggested or advised action to take. What do you need to do to start moving forward so that you can feel more confident and less concerned and less agitated? And then finally, the third card will represent what the likely outcomes will be once you take the recommended action. The likelihood of you feeling more confident in dealing with the situation. So I'm just shuffling very well, and as always, I'm using the giant Rider-Waite so you can see the cards more easily. But they are a bit difficult to shuffle since it's rather large, as you can see here. The deck is rather large. And I hope you've all been having a wonderful weekend. It's Memorial Day weekend, so for many of us, it's a nice long weekend. All right, so what can the tarot advise us to be able to move from concern to confidence in handling a particular challenge in our life? All right, I think I got the ding that I'm always looking for. And that. All right, the first card representing the situation. What insights do we need to have or be aware of vis-a-vis this particular challenge in your life? Quite interesting, the 5 of Pentacles reversed. 5 of Pentacles reversed. Now when this is upright, well, you can also see it. This card, Pentacles, reflects issues related to finances, energy, time. The coins, from my perspective, represent material resources, even related to time. And what we have here, since I asked the question, what can we do to move from concern to confidence about a challenge? Well, the situation right now is, if you're facing a particular challenge, is to be aware that deep within you, since this card is reversed, deep within you, you're feeling tremendous sense of lack, a lack of confidence. You're feeling completely as if you really don't know how to handle this. You just feel adrift. You may feel out in the cold about a particular challenge. You just don't know which way to start. But what's interesting, and these people, we see two beggars, and I'll put it upright so you can also see. We have two beggars. One person actually is a leper. He has this leper spell on him, and he's on crutches. And then the woman has her head bowed, and they're in what seems to be a really cold, winter's day, just trudging through the snow, barefoot or with barely any shoes. And it's an abysmal scene. And especially though, if it's reversed, it's suggesting to me that since the topic is a concern about the challenge is that deep within you, you're feeling adrift, you're feeling out of sorts, you're feeling having a kind of a poverty consciousness about, do you have the finances to handle this? Do you have the time? Do you have the energy? That's where you are right now. So think about that. Does that make sense in a particular challenge that you're facing in your life right now, that you deep within you, you just feel like you don't know, you just don't have sufficient funds, time, or energy to handle it? Is that what you're feeling right now? So to me, it's suggesting that this is the insight you need to be aware of, that you are coming from a place of great lack in terms of your consciousness. So you're feeling, so basically this is saying, as the tarot often does, it's mirroring what you're feeling about your concern. And your concern is coming from feeling you don't have sufficient energy, time, or money, possibly. I think that, to me, that seems pretty clear. The middle card, the action, all right. You're in a situation, a challenge, you're facing a challenge, and now we realize that, wow, I really deeply feel I don't know how to start, I don't have the time, I don't have the energy or resources, find money to deal with this. So what should we do? Interesting. Middle card is the Two of Swords. Now, swords deal with consciousness, with thoughts, actually thoughts. And the Two of Swords, to me, when I first look at this card, it reflects being at a stalemate, being stuck or stymied. But given that the question was, how can you move from concern to confidence? What I feel that this is suggesting right now is the action to take is that you may need to acknowledge you're at a stalemate. Acknowledge that, as this woman is, she's got the two swords, opposing swords, and nothing is moving. She's on this stone throne, or a chair, not a throne, but maybe a chair. And behind her are some waters, and she is blindfolded. And it suggests that, almost that it's reflecting the situation we just mentioned, that, you're feeling lack, you're feeling adrift. But what I feel, since this came in the position of the suggested action, is that you need to turn within. The moon, the crescent moon here, and the moon for me often reflects and represents the intuition, going within. And so I think what it's saying is you've got to stop, pause, take advantage of the power of the pause, but pause and just look at and deeply go within and try to tap into your intuition to see the first step, to take the first step in handling this particular challenge or concern. And to me, that's pretty evident here, that you need to stop, pause, and turn within. That is, to me, is a clear message here of what needs to be done. Now, the final card, assuming that you do that, assuming you recognize you've gotten these insights of where you are in consciousness, you need a time out, stop everything and deeply turn within, to think about, to tap your intuition. And then if you do that, let's see what the likely outcome will be. The King of Cups reversed. The King of Cups is, and when it's upright, is a very strong individual. To me, he represents, kind of mirrors the character of Atticus Finch in To Kill a Mockingbird. Because Atticus Finch was this strong, gentle at the same time, but very just strong and gentle, but he was able to handle trials and tribulations so effectively. You know, it could be a storming time with all around him, but he was able to just keep that calm demeanor. And to me, he was always the figure who represented the ideal father figure. Someone strong, very masculine, but able to weather the storms. And given that this is reversed, to me it's suggesting just what we've been talking about. How do you move from concern to confidence? It's saying, if you take that action, that time out to turn within and tap into your intuition and to listen for an answer, that you will be able to have this great, because it's reversed. So in this case, I think it's reflecting your inner presence, your inner feelings, that you will feel confident deep within you. When this is upright, it also can reflect confidence. But I think since we're in response to the question we're asking, it's suggesting that you take the recommended action of taking time out and tapping into your intuition and listening for an answer, that the answer is going to come, and you're going to start out by feeling deeply confident from instilled within you. You will feel that you can definitely weather the storms, and you're going to have the capability, you're going to be able to handle this particular challenge. Losing my voice here a little bit. In conclusion, how do you move from a situation in which you feel concern about a challenge to confidence? Is that first recognize where you are right now. You've got to acknowledge that to be able to move out of it. So you need to acknowledge your fears. You need to acknowledge what's really been bothering you, and your feeling of perhaps lack consciousness, whether it's time, energy, money, or all of those facets. And then secondly, take time out. Just pause, stop, and turn within. Is to me that the combination of the blindfold and the crescent moon suggests. Turn within and listen for the answers. And as you do so, the likely outcome is that from deep within you, you're going to have this inner confidence that's going to allow you to tackle the challenge. I hope this has been helpful for you. If you haven't already subscribed, please hit the subscribe button and also hit the bell so you will be notified of future videos. And as always, I will be recommending a piece of music, and I will also give you the information about the book. Wishing you well, illumine your mind, inspire your life with the tarot. Until next time.